special cases. First of all, let's start with doing the arc sine of the sine of 135. Let's do that.
Arc sine of the sine. Arc of the sine.
So, sine works on an angle, right? Is 135 degrees an angle?
Yes.
So far, so good, right? What does arc sine work on? What's the domain of arc sine? I don't need the values of the domain. I just what kind of numbers does arc sine work on? It produces radians or degrees, but it doesn't work on radians or degrees. It works on that trig identity. Specifically, it works on things that sine produces, right? Those are the only numbers that arc sine works on. So the domain of arc sine is the range of sine, right? Okay. So, but what does arc sine produce? Now now the range of arc sine is those degree measures, right? What is the domain? Now I want a range of numbers, or an interval, or an inequality.
The ranges?
Yeah, the range of arc sine.
Negative pi halves to pi halves.
Yep, let's do that somebody give that to me in degrees. So just so you guys know, Henry said that the range of arc sine is negative pi halves to positive pi halves. And that's in radians, right? What is that in degrees?
90 degrees is negative.
Yeah, so it starts at negative 90 is the bottom, positive 90 is the top. Okay? So so my question is, while I close the door, am I going to get 135 back? No, it's not in my range, right? So let me ask you this question. What is the sine of 135 degrees? No, what's the sine of 135 degrees? We're 2 over 2, right? It's right there, right? At 45 is my reference angle. Well, it's right there. And square root of 2 over 2 positive, because it's in quadrant 2, is my sine. Where is arc sine going to send it? Remember, arc sine sends it to these two quadrants, right? So is it going to be up here or down there? Why do you say up there, Jed? Because sine is positive up there, right? And the sine of this is positive, right? Positive, positive. Negative, then it'd be negative. So the arc sine of this is 45 degrees. Okay. Now, can I have an arc sine of an can I have that?
Let's see.
Actually, I want to change this. Oh yeah. Can I have that? Can I have an arc sine of an arc sine? What is, this is very specific now. This is not like any other inverse function that we've had. What specifically is the domain of arc sine? It's the range of sine, right? It would have to be sine, right? Or does it? Can I have the arc sine of cosine of can I have that? Well, let me ask you this, and I like where you're thinking, Ben. I like where you're thinking, but what is the range of sine? What? No, I want the interval now. What values do I get for sine? No, not arc sine, sine.
Negative 1 to 1.
Negative 1 to 1, right? It oscillates between negative 1 and 1, just like that, right? What does cosine do? What's the range of cosine? Negative 1 to 1, right? It does the same thing. It's just shifted a little bit, right? We looked at that already, right? Cosine is sine, just shifted. What's that? Nice. Nice. Why can't I do arc sine tangent? What's the range of tangent? What does tangent look like? If I drew a little thing here and I did a tangent, it would go like that. And then it would go over here, it'd go and over here it'd go. Does that have the same range as sine and cosine? No. So I can't do that. I can't do the arc sine of a tangent. I can do an arc sine of a cosine. I can do an arc cosine of a sine. Can't do it of a tangent because the ranges are different. Now, what specifically is that asking me? What specifically is this thing asking me? I could rephrase this question and it would blow your mind.
Nice. Rephrase it.
What's the complementary angle of pi over 4?
45 degrees.
That's all this is asking. That's all it's asking is what's the complementary angle. Why am I saying that? Because let's go through this exercise. What's the cosine of 3 pi over 4? Cosine of 3 pi over 4. Remember, 3 pi over 4 is here. My reference angle is pi over 4, which is 45 degrees. It's square root of 2 over 2, but it's negative because it's cosine, right? Now, what angle produces that sine? What angle produces negative root 2 over 2? Down here, right? Negative sine would be down here. That's negative 45 degrees, right? 45 and 45 are complementary angles, are they not? So you see where this, that's just kind of a intuition about what sine and cosine do. Okay? That's kind of a mind, that's a noodle baker right there. This is tuna noodle right here. Your noodle will bake for about 20 minutes. Actually, I bake my tuna noodle for about an hour. I like when the cheese gets all crunchy on the top. You know what I mean? You put the cheese on top and you let it get crunchy around the edge. That's off the hook. That's off the hook. Am I getting distracted here?
No.
That's about all I wanted to talk about, really.
You're good.
Okay.
That's about all I wanted to talk about because I have a lot of children in this class that need to work on 4.7.
Yeah.
I do. 327. See how that works? Look at that. 327.